Harold's ABC by Crockett Johnson. Harold decided one evening to take a trip through the alphabet from A to Z. To go on any kind of trip, he had to leave home. He started with A for attic. And he left his yard, taking his purple crayon and the moon along. To get very far, he was going to need a lot of words. B is for books. He could find plenty of words in the pile of big books. He was ready for anything. Harold was always ready to eat. And C is for cake. He took a large cut of cake and ate it. He couldn't on his way. The cake made him thirsty, and he wanted a drink. Luckily, D is for drink. He drank right out of a dipper. He was eager to get with his exploration. He visited the manager. This is the tallest building in the world. It went up and up and up, floor after floor, area. E is for area. Elevators may take people up and down in big buildings, but Harold didn't like them. They made its stomach feel funny. He went up over 100 stories on his own way. And the very top, Harold was surprised to see something higher than he was. It was luckily the next letter of the alphabet flying from the roof. F is for flag. Now he had to get down. G is for giants. One happened to be passing by. Giants generally aren't so genial. But this one grinned when Harold landed on him. Harold explained he was in a hurry. The giant gently set him on the ground. He hesitated along. H is for horse. One way to go fast is on horseback. Unfortunately, the horse didn't turn out to look much like a real horse. It made a rather good hobby horse, but a hobby horse doesn't go anywhere. Harold had to think of some other way to speed his trip. I is for idea. He went to work on his next letter with his purple crayon. J is for jet. In a jiffy, he had a speedy little jet plane ready to take off. Harold hopped into it and rocketed away. It overtook the next letter in no time. Harold jumped out and grabbed on, thinking hard of a word on it. K is for kite, flying on a string. Harold began to climb down the string. Suddenly, a quicker way of getting down struck Harold. L is for lightning. Harold held tight to that purple crayon, going like a streak. He landed on a pair of tall peaks, high and lonely, and was for mountain. He looked for somebody to ask where these mountains were. N is for nobody. Up in the sky, he saw an orbiting object. It looked like a strange planet. O is for us, our Earth. The mountains were on the rim of the moon. He looked over the edge at the side of a moon he had never seen. Down below him was the next letter of the alphabet. Taking him, he jumped. P is for parachute. he said as he plunged to the planet on the far side of the moon. And suddenly he wondered how he could get back over the ridge of mountains. He would have to ask the moon man on the moon, or the king, or whoever was in charge. Cuse for queen. He was only the queen of the sky. She told Harold. He bowed. Only King Unions could help Harold get home, he said. But the king was away, far away, the queen said, across land and sea. Harold decided to ride there. Ours were rhinoceroses running both land and water, but it was a slow, rough ride. And when Harold reached the sea, at the next letter, he had a better idea. S is for sea serpent. Harold sailed across the moon ocean in a wide and smooth swift speed. He landed far away, looking for the king of the sky, who was supposed to be there. T is for telescope. He set it up on a tripod. He saw through. It was another letter. The queen. He entered the king's name. Harold remembered it. Used for universes. He drew the king's attention and asked how to get back across the moon mountains. King and in his inner robe stood silent and considered the question. Harold, now the kingly tune. He waved Harold forward and onward. Harold trotted along toward another letter away off in the distance. It was V for Valley. He could go through it for the side of a moon near the earth. 4 more letters, and he would be through the whole alphabet. But the biggest letter of all bad this way. He tried to think of the word for it quickly. W's for witch. Wicked in the waiting, and it looked as if he would never get through. Harold nearly gave up, but then he saw the next letter right nearby. X is for X and out. Harold, he had to X things out before a lot of times. It worked this time too, witches are very susceptible to such treatment. He had made so many marks it was hard to get through them, but Harold managed it. Magically, he found himself in the family garden with the moon high in the sky. Y is for yard. With his own yard, he was home, but in there was only one letter left. In his bedroom, as he dozed off, he made up a word. Z is for zoo or little snore. The end.